Hi everyone, it's Dee from Turtle Dove. How's everyone doing? I'm doing well. I just thought I'd come on and do a bit of playing around with some glitter. I've been doing that earlier this morning, and I thought I would just show you how I mix my glitters. So I'll do a couple of different colours with you, but just before I do that, I thought I would show you the ones that I did earlier today. I have silver, a silver mix, a iridescent with a green touch, iridescent with the pink touch, and iridescent with a gold touch. So it's just a matter of getting all your glitters together and just seeing what you've got and having a play around with them. It's really fun actually. So I'll just show you up close. Now this is on a piece of felt. I'm doing the I've watched Happy Bird Glitter Nest, and she does a lot of mixing glitters together, and then she makes the most beautiful ornaments, and she puts it on the glitter on felt, which is what I've done. So I'll leave the link to her channel below. I think one of her recent videos is of beautiful star ornaments that she's done using the same technique. So that's who I sort of got that technique from, the way that she applies it onto her felt. So anyway, this is the silver, and that has a combination of quite a few glitters. I don't think the camera does it justice. It's absolutely gorgeous. It glistens so much when the light hits it. But what I used is some coarse glitter for that one. I used some glass glitter in silver. I used some tinsel glitter. Looks like little tiny tinsel pieces in there. And I have this assortment of coppers and golds, and I just used a very, very fine silver. And if I can open the pot, that's what it looks like. So when you have a look at it closely, you can just see the green white iridescent shining through this one. This one I deliberately made more silver, but that's the whole idea of playing around with things. So the next one, the next three in fact, will have the iridescent base to it, which shows up more white and iridescent than anything. So if you like that look, you use the iridescent or whatever colour base you want, and then you just add a little bit of colour to it. So even though that's nice, it wasn't green enough for me, so I went ahead after it dried. This one's still wet, and I put a little bit more green in there. So I like that personally myself. So I used the coarse and fine iridescent, and this has a green base to it. The iridescents have different colour bases to them. Some are more pink, some are more blue. And then I used this coarse green, and they're round in shape, and this beautiful green fine glitter. And that made that. Unfortunately, oh, don't laugh at the container. I was desperate. I didn't have containers, and since late afternoon I went out and I bought a few more. So I was desperate. I tried to use anything that I had on hand. And this is not used, by the way, for what you think it had been. So that's just beautiful. I love green. I love your colours. And the next is the iridescent base again. So I use the coarse and fine with the pinks. I really love this one. Look how it glistens. So I use the coarse, fine, iridescent with this Heidi Swap Marquee. Beautiful pink, absolutely gorgeous. And then I had this from Cheapest Chips, and it's called Rose Quartz, and it's a very, very fine rainbow dust glitter, they call it. And yeah, these containers are good for mixing. Just gorgeous. And lastly, the gold. So again, I used the two base colours. I'll show you the gold crown first. Oh, and I forgot to tell you too, with all these, the green, the pink and the gold, I did use just a little bit of diamond dust as well. So I'll place that over there. And then, of course, for the silver, I used the glass glitter in silver. And I think I have to redo a little bit there that I missed. So, again, the iridescent base with the coarse gold, and then a fine pale gold, this is called. So I thought I would show you a couple of mixes that we'll do together. And I'm going to try, I cut these baubles out. I'm going to make some ornaments with the crowns. So I'll show you that when they're all done on another video. But I just want to concentrate more on the glitter today. So that's all been hardened with glue beforehand. And I thought we should, or I would, mix a purple, but I'm not going to use, or should I use the iridescent base? I think I want something a little more dark this time, so I might skip that. And what I'll be using is a little bit of diamond dust. I have some coarse purple, some tinsel purple, some fine, very deep purple, and then some fine but a lighter purple. So I'll have a play around with that and see how that works. So I'll start with the light. So I'm just going to tap a little bit in there. Of course, depending on what your project is going to be, you'll just have to adjust the amount. But I'm just having a play. This one's beautiful. It almost looks black on camera, but it's a beautiful, almost plum colour, or grape colour I should say. And I love pastels and I love the rich colours, so and I don't ever put a lot of the tinsel glitter in there because it does tend to stick up, and I don't want it overtaking, so I'm just always careful with how much of this I put in, and you can always add more. And it can get very messy mixing glitters, so just be aware of that. But to me it's easily cleaned up with a vacuum cleaner and a wet cloth on the tabletop. Now this is the more coarse glitter. I'm going to put a little bit more of that in. In fact, there's not a real lot there. That's why it's good to have a base actually, because it's sort of like a filler. So I'll put a bit more of each again, just so I'm making a little bit more. Otherwise it's not going to go too far at all. I mean, you could measure it. I think that was a bit much actually, so I'm going to put just a bit more of this one in. You could measure it. I have seen on websites you can get, for those people who absolutely love and use a lot of glitter, some kits that you can get, or tools you can get for it, measuring tools and such. But I'm just happy to do it how I do it. And just be careful too when you're spooning, especially if you don't want to mix glitter colours. Just be aware that sometimes the glitter stick to the spoon that you're using, or your scoops or whatever. So I'm just going to put 3 of these. You know what this is? This is a spoon from a yogurt container, and it's foldable, and I find these really useful tools for glitter. These are very flat. Oh, this side is anyway, this one isn't, and that's good for something that you don't want to use a lot of. So let's give it a shake. You could also do this in a cup as well. There we go. Now to me, I think I'm going to put some more of the light purple. Give it another shake and have a look. And sometimes it's just a matter of actually putting it down on a project or on a piece of paper and letting it dry to see what it's like. Now that's beautiful. You can see the light colour through there, and it almost makes it look blue. Blue with the plum or the grape. And you know what? I am going to put some of this iridescent glitter in there, because it's a dark sparkly and I want to lighten it up slightly. So there's no rules here, you just do what you want, or whatever takes your fancy. Now that's better. Now it sparkles more straight away. Okay, so we'll leave that aside, and then we'll do the other colour that I want to do, which is blue. So I have a couple of fine glitters. What I did was just, I took all my glitters out and had a look to see what I have and what I could mix. My sister gifted me this pack of glitter. I think it was last Christmas or the one before. Then I have this, as well as all my tubs of glitter. So we'll use that, we'll use this blue tinsel glitter, some sequin glitter, which is quite chunky, and this is, I don't know what you call this, it looks like the stuff that you put on nails. It's just like a fine iridescent paper. that's been broken up. So I'll get another one of my little tubes. We'll start straight away. I'm going to put a base in, but I am going to make these darker than the pastels over there. And I will use the fine and the iridescent as well. Actually, what am I doing? This is what I bought this for. I do have a funnel that I use a lot for the glitter, and it does come in handy. I mainly use it for cleanups, but when I'm working with the tubes, it is good to have. And okay, let's put the fine coloured glitter in. What am I doing? Let's just pour it. And I always try and put the lid straight on, just in case I drop it, because glitter is like gold to me. Now, this one doesn't want to open. Okay, it's full to the brim. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? So just now the tinsel. Don't want to pour that one in because it tends to stick to each other and then you get big clumps of it. So I'll just do a couple of the little spoons worth. Now for the, well, these are hexagonal shaped. And just going to carefully tip some in there. Just going to give that a shake before I put this one in. See how it's going. And put some of the diamond dust in there. It looks like I'm putting a lot in, but remember that's flat, so. And let's put a bit of this in. I'm not sure about this actually. I don't know if that's going to stick down too well, so I'll only put a little bit of that in. Give it a good shake. That actually looks really pretty. And I'm going to put a little little bit more of the fine glitters in to make it a little bit darker. So at the moment that's going to show up more pastel coloured than anything, which is nice. But I am going for something a little bit darker. And I do love the blues as well. And now just a little bit of the lighter blue. Let's see what that looks like. Shake it up again. So that's what happened with the green one. I actually tried it out and I sort of thought in my head it might not be enough green on there for me, but I just wanted to see what it looked like on a surface. So then I thought, no, I still want it greener. Okay, I think that's fine. I'm going to stop there. So let's put all these aside, back, and have a look to see what they look like on the surface. So I do not have triple thick. I can't find it anywhere, and online it's way too expensive, so I'm just using a tacky glue, and this will dry clear. There'll be so much glitter on the top it won't matter anyway. These glues develop a skin on the nips so quickly. Right. So you put plenty of glue. Now what's good with triple thick, I've seen on YouTube, is that it sort of domes a little bit and it doesn't run off the edges, where this glue will. So I'm just using what I've got, and it seems fine with me. If ever I see the triple thick that's reasonably priced, I'll buy it, but we don't get them in the stores here in Australia, and online it's way too expensive, and we don't have Amazon, so. And the trick too is to try and keep it even and put it right, the glue right on the edges. So I'll be doing both sides of this, but there's a lot of drying time in between. I'm just rubbing the glue off my hands. Okay, well, let's do the blue one and see how that turns out. Let's put the lid on the glue. Okay. These are going to make beautiful ornaments. And now you just carefully tap this down, but very, very gently, only really just touching it. You don't want to squash that glue down too much. Because I've got the diamond dust and the tinsel glitter there, I'm just trying to flatten everything down. So just take your time. This is where I've learnt this from Happy Bird Glitter Nest. She does a lot of ornaments, as I mentioned before, using this technique. and applying it on the stiffened felt. Right, now at this stage you don't want to muck anything up, so I'm just going to use this tool to pick it up, to lift it up. And just pat the edges down. While the glue's still wet. And then you just tip it once. And look at that. You can still see a lot of the iridescence. But it is a lot darker. And I would still class that as pastel. So that looks beautiful. Now I'm going to have to be careful. I might put that on the side and let that dry. Put the glue back in the tube, which is where I use these little craft funnels. I don't want to waste any of my glitter. Like I said, glitter's like gold to me. It's hard to find a really nice glitter in Australia. We have so much more overseas. I mean, you do get them, but so I have this for another project. And I'm just going to use a toothbrush, and I've got a bin next to me, and I'm going to brush that away from my eyes so I don't get glitter in my eyes, and just tap that into the bin. Ready for the next one. And these trays, they're just from when I bought vegetables, fruit and veggies. I keep everything. I use them for paint palettes as well. So let's get another bauble and try out the purple. So if you have a spare couple of hours, one afternoon, this is just something that's really fun to play around with, making your own glitter mixes. And I have tried this with the brush, but it just annoys me. I'm like that in the kitchen too. I use my hands a lot. Clean hands, obviously. But the brush tends to leave brush strokes behind, and I don't know, it's just not as easy, I think, as using your finger. Okay. That's where the triple thick is good, because the triple thick is a lot thicker and higher, and it's also clear, and it doesn't run. That's what I've seen on YouTube anyway. Right, let's do the purple. I'm interested to see what this is going to turn out like. Okay, let's pour this on. Ooh, that's pretty. So I will finish a few more of these ornaments. I might want to make another shape. Maybe I'll get a star as well, I'm not sure. Maybe a bell and I'll show you the finished product in a project share. Didn't have much left on that one. Okay, so just softly tap around the edge first. Then you can work your way around to the centre. And just make sure when you're sprinkling the glitter on that you get the very edges as well. I'm just going to smooth out the edges so none of the diamond dust or the tinsel glitter sticking out, or the little sequin glitter, and then just tip it. Oh, that's beautiful. Absolutely love that one. You can see a lot of the iridescent white with the green tinge coming through against the purple. Just looks beautiful. So that is how I mix my glitters. Now let's just carefully place this over here. And what I intend to do is put some pearl trim on some of them, and then like little diamantes here and there. I'll just pack this up. And I have two more mixed up now. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Just thought I'd have a bit of fun and mix a couple of colours for you to see. I have glue all over my hands. I have glitter everywhere, but I am happy. Actually, I won't put that there because you know why. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Take care. I hope you have fun mixing your own glitter. Let me know if you have any other tips or if you use other things. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.